Hi, Cancer. So we were talking about the 7th and 8th house, and there's definitely taking some action within some of these relationships. It definitely acknowledging where I just feel like there's a stain on cooperation in some of these relationships. And action needs to be taken. New rules, new walls. For some of these relationships is letting it go. Overcoming insecurities, which might be keeping you in the relationship. Recycling. I'm also getting a problem with speaking from the heart. Like a frustration. It brings us right back to that delivery system and the communication again. But there's a responsibility you have to yourself within these relationships, is what Spirit just said. With that being said, let's jump into that 9th house for you. For you, this is Pisces energy. And this is overcoming. We've been going through this for a while because Neptune has been here for quite a long time. But we're getting closer to the end of this sign, which means we're finally getting to where we're actually learning from that higher self perspective, from that oneness, that higher authority, higher source energy, your inner higher source energy, is finally starting to maybe tap into that connection on a more magical scale, a healthier magical scale. And maybe part of that is you're also seeing where you're getting tripped up between the 3rd dimension and the 5th dimension. And you're going back and forth with that ego talking to you. Because Neptune creates magic. The 9th house also is magic. It's not just that higher self and that source connection. It's ethics, morals, it's psychic energy, spiritual wisdom, higher mind, visions, journeying. But it's also philosophy, religion, law. It's learning. And in this case, too, it's spiritual learning. So you may be going through, another form of an ego death. And Neptune definitely connects to how and what you're creating and manifesting according to where you're branching those ethics, those morals, that psychic energy from. And are you branching it from a lower vibrational Neptune magic or a higher vibrational Neptune magic? And this is energy of the source energy communicating with you, that higher self. So depending on where you're going and then how you're placing that within your relationships, first off with yourself and everybody else, bringing me right back to that delivery system again. Delivery system of your identification is what they just said, is you're having a deeper communication. That's not even a word, but I feel like they were trying to say something there. Because I'm saying communication and they're saying purification. This is coming into a purification of your core and how you communicate with yourself. And as you're doing that better, you're letting those negative thoughts, those negative old ways of acting and thinking go, then it's raising that vibration. But you're learning how to shift those ethics and morals with what you're learning, is what they're saying. You're learning how to listen to the heart while the head might be raging as you're overcoming this. Which actually would say a lot, because as you're coming in to the 10th and the 11th house is where I'm getting a lot of this massive energy. Don't forget, Mercury is traveling through that spiritual energy, that higher self energy. Up until the 11th, Mercury is still in Pisces, which happens to be that 9th house for you. That source energy, that higher education. So you're probably getting hit with that spiritual communication. And are you rising or going or getting caught up with ego? Because of that way, Neptune is communicating with Mercury and then bombarding you. But on the 11th, it moves into Aries, which is coming into your honor, your prestige, your reputation, your future, your career, your financial success, your social foundations. Is also the community, the authority of the outer world. Now, this may be where you may be feeling like the authority of the outer world is forcing you, is making you feel like you're having trouble moving forward. Like it's just pushing on you to try to see if you're going to be able to step forward into it or not. Like it feels like it's trying to push, not you back, but going, I have a challenge and can you overcome this? And the reason I say that is because Aries, from the 11th through the 22nd, and I've been saying through the 25th more. Now they're saying it'll come into some of that sacral chakra, having confidence. Because as you're coming into that 10th and 11th house, this is Aries and Taurus. And you're coming towards that new moon on the 22nd. But starting off, let's travel through Aries, which is the 10th house itself. On the 11th, Mercury moves out of Pisces and into Aries. And it's only going to be here for like 2 weeks. So it's like flying through here. It's not necessarily that the energy is bad, but it's like I got nothing. I got this. I've dished out what needs to be dished out. And next is pretty much what I'm getting from Mercury. Traveling through Aries. It's going over Chiron, over Lilith, and trying to catch up with the sun. The sun is going to be here up until the 19th. Which means even in areas where you normally don't speak up, in that outer community, where you might let shit slide, you're not going to be letting that shit slide right now. Because even the quiet little mousy types speak up in Aries energy. It's going through here, and at the end, and when we're getting closer from like the 11th through, the 19th, it's moving closer and closer and closer. It's also going to be stomping over top of Eris, which is Medusa. It's a brand new cycle, a brand new beginning. Chiron is asking for new healthy shifts. It's the wounded healer within that outer community, that reputation, that prestige, that professional world. Where are you either not being viewed properly, not standing in your power, not moving into what you should be moving into? It's the financial area, the social foundation. It's moving you into the authority, of your life, but so that you're actually able to stand out there in that power. Because as it moves into the 11th house, it's talking about the future itself with the goals, the dreams, the ambitions, versus that outer community, that outer authority. And honor and reputation, the hidden self has pieces here that may have darker aspects because you're trampling over Medusa and you're moving towards Taurus. Moving into Taurus towards Uranus. And Medusa is trouble, toil, and strife. So where you're holding on to injustice and that honor and reputation, it's being illuminated. You're holding on to things that really probably aren't good for you. It's like a vampire sinking its teeth in and just sucking away even after vampires, suck the blood out of people. And if they keep sucking after they're dead, it's not good for them either, supposedly. So it's like just keep sucking on something that's got no blood that's left. Is what I feel like. Eris is trouble, toil, strife. She's Medusa. She's injustice. The sun is going to trample over it. You've got Also, Chiron the wounded healer here, Lilith here, bringing fire into some of those darker aspects of how you think and what you're seeing in that outer community. You know, and that's the financial world, the authority, the responsibilities of that outer world, but it's going directly into the 11th house, which is the future, the goals, the dreams, the ambitions, and all of this has to do with the community. Is the community a community that serves you or not? A community that's helping you flourish into who and what you want to be, what your goals, your dreams, your ambitions are, because that's where you're going to find the financial success, the honor and the reputation, by putting the energy into what you want, not into that Medusa energy, trouble, toil, strife, sucking your teeth into things that don't serve you. But in that 11th house, as you come up to that new moon, it's coming up on top of Uranus. Now, Uranus is independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. But on the universal scale, it's the second house. On the universal scale, Aries is the first house, which brings you right back to your awareness, your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, within what you're trying to actually grow, not into what you're not. Making sure that you're really focusing on the future, the directions, maybe the schooling that you need to do, putting the effort into it. I mean, if we're in quarantine, that's fine, but maybe that's saying if you're trying to develop something, this would be the time to develop it. You know, maybe if you're an artist and you're a musician, this is the time to write the music. If you're a writer, this is the time to do the writing. Focus the energy into what's healthy and moving you in the direction you want. Focus the energy into the people and the groups and the communities that support what you want, not into the trouble, toil, and strife. Because Taurus energy wants only the best things, but it's stubborn as all get out. But here's the thing, it also can be bullheaded for right reasons or the wrong reasons. In Taurus energy, Uranus is self-worth, self-value, and self-esteem. If you're coming through and truly finding security. But if you're not finding security, then it's tapping into insecurities and it's becoming very possessive, very controlling. So are you becoming controlling over your inner Medusa, trouble, toil, strife, and focusing and putting all that energy into it, your honor, your reputation, the authority of the outer world, where you disagree with it? Is that actually what you want to be putting your energy into? Or do you want to pay attention to building your own securities and putting it into your future, your dreams, your goals? And if you have the right community, the right friends, they support the future. They help you find your true purpose, your true destination. Or they're ones that take you from it. Now the 12th house is where Venus is moving in. And that might be why everything is also so sensitive. Venus moved in to the 12th house on the 3rd. It's also running with Vista, the soul fire itself. Venus, I say all the time, is not love, she's sensitivities. She tells you why something is ooey gooey, soft and chewy, and could I please have more, sir? I love this. I want more. It's so great. She teaches you how to communicate in ways that can get what you want. She teaches you how to maneuver that. But she also tells you when you've been betrayed, when you've been lied to, and why it freaking hurts so bad, and why you're pissed off about it. So she also knows how to use that tongue to lash out. This is the 12th house. Oversensitive and deep into your own personal soul fire of all those things that you're hide in the closet from yourself. I always say is the 12th house is where we've put our skeletons in the closet so far back that they've created their own skeletons in the closet. It's where we swept all the shit we had decided to let go under the rug. And as long as you don't lift the rug up, you don't know there's dirt under there. This is your inner dirt. Your inner grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurities. Your self-deceptions, your self-undoings, your inner trash talk. Venus is pointing out those darker aspects because the 12th house is the darker aspects. Its only purpose is to go, hey, this is what you don't like to deal with, and this is what we need to heal. So she's going to be picking on those things, going, and Vista is the soul fire going, well, this is why. Because the soul fire is going, you're neglecting me in these positions. And Venus is bringing sensitivity to it, which may be part of why I got a whole raptor as my cup lately. I'm just saying, I feel like you're going through a small journey of inner truth and how to communicate with yourself to truly get right with your karmic lessons, your cycle ending, and build that inner emotional security. I love you guys. Bye.